Hey, welcome to my demonstration of the completion of the lesson 6 assignment. Here I have my Swagger UI, my API documentation for these assignments. I have added 2 extra routes, which are the put and routes for the put request and the delete request. The put request allows me to add update information about a user. So to do so, I need a user ID and the body of the user's information. So I'm going to run a get request to get users, and then I would use one of the ID of the users to update the information. So first, I'm going to get all the users I have currently. So right now, I do not have a user in my database. I've deleted all the users while testing. So I'm going to quickly create a user using the post route. And so I'm going to create a user with the name So I'm going to intentionally allow this error. I'm going to put in an email in this format, which of course, this is not a valid email, but I'm going to try creating a user with this and just to demonstrate the validation I have on my post request API route. So I'm going to enter a password. Also, I'm going to enter a password that is comprised of just 3 letters or 4 letters. And then okay, so I'm going to try posting this. So you can see I have a 400 error, and this returns a list of errors that I have while trying to create this user. So first error is that I do not have a valid email. You can see that this email was flagged as invalid. And also the password character must be at least 8. So I have this validation and as well as error handling methods for each error resulting from the validation. So I'm going to fix those errors quickly and go ahead and create the user. Okay, so fixed the errors and I'll create the user. So you can see I still have an error. Please enter a valid email. So this is still not a valid email. I forgot the @ sign. So great. So I have the user ID. Now I'm going to try to update this this email, this user email. So I have this user. I'm going to get this user's information. I'm going to get the user's information and then go ahead and update. So here I have the information of the user. So I'm going to copy all of this and use it as my template for updating. So right. So first, while trying to update, I'm going to enter intentionally an ID that doesn't exist in the database. So I'm going to change the ID and try sending this request, this update. So you can see that I have a 400 error telling me that there is invalid user ID or user does not exist. Of course, because I changed this to the user ID. Now I have the correct user ID. Then I'm going to change the password to also be less than 8. So let's see if that validation also works for the put request. You can see I also have a 4 error, and this flags that error, the password must be 4. So I have my validation set, and I wanted to change the email. I want to change it to this. Good. So great. So I have a 201 response indicating that the put request was successful. Now I'm going to get the user again to demonstrate that the put request was actually effected in the database. So you can see the current email of this user. I'm going to generate the user's info again. And you can see the email now has been changed towards the result of the put request. Okay, next I'm going to demonstrate the delete request. So the delete request requires just a user ID. So now I'm going to also try deleting a user that doesn't exist. So I'm going to execute this. And of course, I'll have a 400 error telling me that the user was not found. So I'm going to correct it back, and I'm going to execute it. See, I have a 200 response status. Now, because I've deleted this user, I am going to go back and try getting this user information, and I'm going to, of course, get an error. So I'm going to demonstrate the way I handled that error. So you can see that I'm trying to get a user that has already been deleted. I have an error with a status code of 400 and an error message of user does not exist, demonstrating that I didn't handle the error for this request. Thank you very much. I hope this meets the expectation for this assignment.